Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Larry Pickett. I'm the Western Illinois University Army ROTC Scholarship Enrollment Officer. I'm a retired Army officer with 30 years of experience and an ROTC graduate. I'd like to provide you with a short informational brief on the Army ROTC program and the Federal ROTC Scholarship. Now 99% of the information in this presentation is valid at the over 1,000 colleges or universities that offer ROTC. The last 1% is specific to Illinois schools. At the same time, I would also encourage some of you who may be only considering applying to one of the service academies to seriously consider also applying for the ROTC Federal Scholarship. As we train our young cadets and our officers, you need to have a plan B in case plan A doesn't work. ROTC is the primary officer producing program for the U.S. Army. Upon completion of this program, you'll be commissioned as a second lieutenant in either the active Army, the National Guard, or the U.S. Army Reserves. It is completely your choice. Of the three officer producing programs in the U.S. Army, ROTC, West Point, or the Officer Candidate School, ROTC actually produces 75% of the Army's officers. ROTC is not supposed to be the most dominant program of your college experience. In fact, we encourage our students to be actively involved in college life and get that college experience. ROTC cadets have participated in college sports, college government, fraternities, sororities, and involved in the community service projects. ROTC is currently offered at 1,000 colleges or universities across the country. As you enroll in ROTC, it's taken as a normal part of your college experience. It is also sometimes called military science, depending on the university that you go to. Your normal topics would consist of, as a freshman, a 1 credit hour class that begins to introduce you to soldier skills, basic leadership skills, and some adventure training. As a sophomore class, it's normally a 2 credit hour class that meets twice a week, again beginning to introduce you to individual tactics and some small unit tactics. We also begin to apply leadership skills and put you into leadership positions to develop your skills. The junior year, considered the toughest year of the ROTC program, is when you focus specifically on small unit tactics and applied leadership. You also have normally a 1-2-hour leadership lab in which you actually apply those leadership skills with other cadets. The senior year, you start focusing primarily on staff and Army doctrine functions. You're also placed into leadership positions where you educate and train the underclassmen during the program. Many ROTC programs offer additional activities: physical fitness training, which at most programs is done 2 to 3 times a week, and a leadership lab. Leadership labs at Western are done normally on Tuesdays from 3:30 to 5:30, but other programs will adjust them based on their academic schedule. Most ROTC programs also have clubs that they sponsor, and we'll discuss those in the next slide. The 3 clubs that most ROTC programs sponsor are: 1, the Ranger Company. This is a group of young men and women who are focused primarily on improving their physical fitness, their small unit leader skills. They will normally compete against other Ranger Company or Ranger Challenge teams from other organizations in their surrounding community, and then they'll move up and compete against other ROTC programs out of state, with the culminating, if qualified, to go to West Point and compete against the West Point cadets. The other club is a Color Guard. Color Guard is normally, as it shows in the picture, presenting the U.S. colors at home football games, basketball games, or any other event where they request color guards. Some universities actually are able to participate in professional sports and present their colors at the professional sports to get recognition for their program. The rifle team, if the university has an indoor rifle range or access to an outdoor rifle range, will conduct basic rifle marksmanship training where they will compete again with normally small caliber weapons against other programs across the country. As a contracted cadet, you can volunteer for additional training opportunities through the ROTC program. Some of those training opportunities are Airborne School at Fort Benning, Georgia, where you learn to successfully parachute from an airplane; Air Assault School, where you go to Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where you successfully learn how to rappel from a helicopter; Mountain Warfare, where you go to Vermont to train with the Vermont National Guard on mountain warfare techniques. Also for nurses, they have a nurse summer training program where you spend 2 to 3 weeks at a military hospital interacting with Army nurses to understand the challenges and the training opportunities that are provided to you when you graduate with your nursing degree. Now we'll move on to specifically the scholarships. Army ROTC offers over $20 million in scholarships to high school seniors every year. This 3 or 4 year federal scholarship can be used to pay either tuition and fees or room and board at the over 1,000 colleges or universities that offer ROTC. It is definitely the student's choice based on their financial need and or any additional financial incentives they receive from that school. Federal scholarship students also receive $1,200 a year or $600 a semester book stipend that can be used to help defray the cost of books. And every contracted cadet from freshman to senior receives $420 a month while they're going to school at the ROTC program. Next slide, we will discuss some of the criteria to apply for this scholarship. The basic eligibility requirements for the federal scholarship are identified on this slide. Thousands of students apply annually, so to help you out, I'd like to provide you a little bit of additional guidance on some of the criteria. First is a minimum GPA. It is 2.5, but honestly, if you don't have a 3.0 or higher, you may not be as competitive as you could be against other students. The minimum ACT and SAT scores are as identified on the slide. However, you can take the test and then retake the test and submit new scores after you retake the test a second time or even a third time if you need to get a better score. The Presidential Physical Fitness Test can be administered by your local PE teacher. It consists of 1 minute of push-ups, 1 minute of sit-ups, and a 1 mile run. Again, I encourage you take this test as a practice and then a week or two later, take it again for a higher score and then submit that higher score. While not eligibility criteria, these are some factors that will impact the scholarship application are leadership positions in high school. Encourage you to be involved in either student government, sports teams, or extracurricular organizations and try to apply and receive a leadership position on those teams or organizations so you get additional points on the scholarship application. The application deadline is for February. Below is the application link. I encourage you to go to the application link as soon as possible and start filling out the application. The online portion will only take you about an hour to complete. However, you will have to take these other portions of the eligibility criteria and get them submitted, and this may take you a little bit longer. You don't want to miss this application deadline. Once you graduate and earn your commission, you do owe the Army a service obligation. This obligation is 8 years. This obligation can be done in one of two ways. The first is active duty. You can go on to active duty, serve for a minimum of 4 years, which means being a soldier 24/7, 365, and then complete your remaining 4 years either on active duty or back into the Army Reserves or in the Army National Guard. The second method is to go immediately into the Army Reserves or the Army National Guard. It's 8 years as a drilling reservist, which means you go 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks in the summer for training. You will have to serve an initial 3 or 6 months on active duty, as all officers do, to go to your basic officer leader course, which teaches you how to be an officer in the specialty that you have applied for when you receive your commission. This is the last slide where I talk about that 1% that deals specifically with Illinois schools and Illinois residents. As a Western Illinois University Scholarship Enrollment Officer, I wanted to mention the fact that Illinois has a phenomenal opportunity for incoming freshman students who may not have won one of the federal ROTC scholarships. Every state school in the state of Illinois receives 10 tuition waiver scholarships for the incoming freshman class. This scholarship waives tuition and some of your fees as long as you participate in the ROTC program. Every ROTC program sets their own eligibility criteria, so you would want to specifically contact the school where you are wanting to go to find out from my counterpart at that school what their eligibility requirements are and the competition is to receive one of these scholarships. The great thing about this scholarship is you can earn this tuition waiver scholarship and use it for up to 2 years before actually making a commitment and contracting with the United States Army and ROTC. So this gives you an opportunity to test out ROTC to see if this is really what you want to do in your future career. Again, every ROTC program has their own eligibility criteria, so you're going to want to contact my counterpart at that school to determine exactly how you have to apply. In closing, I'd like to encourage all interested students to apply for the ROTC Federal Scholarship. I will be more than happy to talk to you or your parents about ROTC in general or about the Western Illinois University program specifically. My contact information is on this slide. Please feel free to reach out to me to answer any questions. And finally, have a fantastic year and good luck. And I hope to see you here at Western Illinois University. Go Leathernecks!